My wife cheated on me with her ex-husband, and I divorced her. So I married a younger woman. Now she is jealous and shattered. I'm a 49-year-old man, was married to Sophia, a 51-year-old woman, for 17 years. We have 2 daughters, Mia, 14, and Eli, 10. We divorced 5 years ago when she cheated on me with her ex-husband. She dated him in college and they got married right after graduating. She told me he was a good-for-nothing, emotionally and physically abusive, controlling, who did not want to work, with no vision for the future. She assured me she fought tooth and nail to save that marriage, but she got tired of his irresponsible behavior and divorced him. She was single when I met her. I was 26, striving to make a name for myself. Sophia was a senior employee and was assigned as my mentor. She was smart, respected, and worked hard. I found her fascinating, confident, ambitious, and with a warm side that attracted me. We became friends. Then we started dating casually for over a year. I was young, focused on my career, but I fell deeply in love and confessed it to her. She wanted to go slow, and that seemed fine to me. We moved in together, lived like that for 2 years, and then we got married. We bought a house in the suburbs. When we were financially stable, we had Mia and Eli. I thought we were meant to be for life. Family barbecues, soccer games, the girls' laughter filled the house. I felt we would grow old together. 5 years ago, that dream turned to ashes when she received an invitation to her college reunion. She said they did not allow partners, which I found strange because they usually do. I would not have been bothered if her ex-husband was not a year older than her in college. She assured me he was part of the past, and there was nothing to worry about. When she left, I felt anxious, but then I calmed down. After all, we had been married for 17 years, we had 2 beautiful daughters, and in general, she had never given me a reason to distrust her. When she came back, I asked her if her ex was there too, and she swore he was not. I am not normally jealous or insecure, but her attitude made me doubt. If she had said he was there and they just exchanged greetings, I would have believed it more. But she was acting suspiciously with her phone, evading questions with fake smiles, which aroused my curiosity. So I went to her university's Facebook page and checked all the photos that the attendees uploaded to the event. Luckily for me, I found one where he appeared in the background smiling like an idiot. I showed the photo to Sophia, and she was speechless. She admitted she lied to avoid assumptions. She called it a white lie. She said he was only there for a little while, and she did not even look at him. That set off all the alarms. I started watching her closely. Her calls put me on alert. It was not healthy, and our relationship turned sour. She said I had changed and no longer trusted her. I admit I developed trust issues, but who would not? We argued more often, especially when she came home late or talked for hours in the garage. Once we had a big fight about money. She wanted to take Mia out of her gifted children's program to save money, saying they were just extra classes. I was furious. Those classes were my daughter's passion, and I was barely managing to pay for them. The fight escalated. She called me immature and irrational. I told her she was acting like a spoiled and controlling child. It was ugly, and I went to bed. She did not come to the room. When I went out to look for her, she was on the couch. She always did that. She would sleep on the couch or in the girls' room when she was angry. I went back to bed and tried to sleep. At 2 in the morning, I was still not asleep. I went for some water. I saw the empty couch. I looked for her and could not find her. Then I heard whispers from downstairs. I went closer and heard her talking on the phone about her fight. My heart sank to the floor when I heard her say, "He is so immature. I miss being with a real man who supports and guides me." I stood there listening to everything. I am not one to stand around feeling sorry for myself. I wanted to confront her right there, but without proof, I would not do it. My phone was in the room. I went up for it, but when I came back, she had already hung up. Maybe she felt I was awake. Still, I turned on the recorder, turned on the light, and shouted, "Who were you talking to?" She was surprised, turned pale, and stammered excuses. I exploded and asked her to show me the phone. She refused. She tried to turn it against me for spying on her. I told her I had heard everything and knew she was talking to her ex. She sighed in surrender and confessed everything. It turned out she had been fooling around with that loser for more than 2 months. When they announced the reunion, he wrote to her out of the blue asking if she would go. They started chatting since then. She said they were just friends. When they saw each other, he asked her about her married life. She claimed she did not cheat on me until that moment, that it was just a hug and a kiss on the forehead, like he used to do. Yes, that is what she said. She vented to him when she noticed I was starting to get suspicious after the reunion. To de-stress from my constant complaints, she went to see him, and that is when they slept together. They saw each other several times since then. She said they only talked, nothing physical, but I knew it was a lie. I pressed her to know why. She yelled at me that he was more mature and understanding, that she sometimes got tired of making all the decisions alone and wanted someone to guide her. I laughed bitterly at the hypocrisy. She left him for being a controlling abuser, and now I was the problem for giving her freedom. The most absurd thing she said was, "Okay, I will cut it off, and we will start over." She said, "He will come with me to couples therapy, and he will understand what I need from this marriage." I laughed like a madman. Therapy, my ass. I told her right there that our marriage was over. Now she had to think about what she would tell the girls about why she destroyed our family. She collapsed, begging me not to tell them. She could not believe I would end the marriage over that. She even said this. I am not making it up. It only happened once. It was not a new man touching me. You know it was my ex-husband, right? We had already done it several times before I met you. So, why make such a big deal about one more time? I did not owe her any explanation. She had crossed the line, period. During the following days she played the victim, curled up in bed, missing work, not eating, with swollen and teary eyes. but I saw through her act. Those tears were pure theater. Then she involved her mother, who showed up crying and begging me to think of the girls and give her another chance. I did not flinch. Instead, I moved to the guest room and focused even more on preparing my legal case. She even tried to use the girls, hugging them in front of me, whispering to them that she would fix everything. Manipulative as she was. Our neighbor Karen, the queen of gossip, probably found out from Sophia's drama and started spreading rumors saying I was kicking my wife out. My older daughter came home asking why dad was mad at mom. I gave Sophia an ultimatum. Tell the girls about the divorce by Friday, or I will tell them you were unfaithful. She postponed it, acting all pathetic, but in the end, she agreed. We sat down with them and said we were going to separate because we could no longer get along. They were devastated. The older one clung to me, crying. Eli kept asking why we could not stay together. It broke my soul to see them like that. I signed up for individual therapy for myself and for them too, in addition to group sessions. The divorce was a brutal process. Sophia initially asked for full custody, probably to play the perfect mother, but I did not allow it. My lawyer fought for shared custody, and she backed down when we hinted that her infidelity could come out in court. A few months later, Mia, who was about 9 or 10 years old then, found some messages from her mother's boyfriend on her phone, and everything became clear. The messages were shockingly explicit, and she discovered that her mother even snuck out with him while the girls were away. Mia lost it, showed it to her sister who did not understand much, but was furious anyway. They both lost control, screaming, refusing to stay with their mother, and calling her a liar. They called me desperate, asking me to get them out of Sophia's house. I went immediately, brought them with me, and tried to calm them down, but they were an absolute wreck. I had to take them to therapy to process it. They came to live with me. They did not want to know anything about their mother anymore, especially Mia. Eli was still polite, but kept her distance. It hurt me to see them like that, but I could not protect them from the truth forever. When the divorce was finalized, Sophia acted as if nothing could affect her. Although we had shared custody, the girls ended up staying with me. We sold the house and split the money. We split all the assets, savings, and investments 50-50ths. She moved into a new apartment with her ex-husband. There was nothing left to hide. She said she had the right to live her life. The fact that her daughters were hurt did not matter to her anymore. She only called them occasionally on birthdays, holidays, etc. 2 years ago, I found out she moved to another state for a better job opportunity. Knowing her history, I know she is the one carrying all the financial weight. Anyway, her situation was not easy for me either. Raising the girls alone while working was hell. I was burned out, almost sleepless. My parents intervened. They moved into my small apartment for a few months to help with food and school runs. My daughters started making breakfast and took on chores like champions. We became a small team, turning my apartment into a home with their drawings on the fridge and pizza nights back. Little by little, life got back on track. Last year I bought a new house, and I felt I was ready to move on. I tried dating. I met some women, but they did not get along with the girls. 2 months ago, I met a wonderful woman, Lauren, 35 years old. A graphic designer, fun, independent, with a spark that caught me. We had chemistry right away. Late-night messages, dinners. I even took her to my daughter's soccer game as a friend. The girls were warm, but I was nervous. I mean, my daughters had a terrible time when Sophia left with her ex-husband. They confessed in therapy that they were disgusted to see their parents with other people. They felt betrayed by their mother, and I do not want them to feel the same way about me. Lauren is fine with going slow, but I am torn. I like her a lot, but how do I introduce her into my daughters' lives without breaking their hearts again? Any advice? Update 1. Thanks for the flood of advice. I talked to the girls one night after dinner. We were relaxed, changing channels on the TV, and I brought it up casually, without making it a serious talk. I asked them how they would feel if I dated someone someday. Mia blinked and said, "You should get married again. You have been alone long enough." Eli nodded. "Yes, but with someone who is not fake like mom. Someone like Aunt Lauren, by the way." And they both laughed. Their smiles made me blush. For a long time, I was afraid they would feel betrayed again. But the truth is they have matured, they understood what happened, they processed it, and now they just want me to be happy. That moment made me see that they are not just little girls anymore. They are growing up and understand much more than I gave them credit for. That is when I told them a little about Lauren. Yes, we are now officially a couple. I did not want to rush them into accepting someone new, so I shared small details. How we met, how at first she was hesitant to date someone with baggage, especially 2 daughters. But when we talked, she saw beyond the chaos and saw who I am now. There is a 15-year difference between us, but honestly, I do not feel it. Lauren is smart, centered, knows when to challenge me, and when to just be there. She does not play games, she does not dig into the past, and she never tried to be a mother to the girls. Instead, when she met them, she just listened. In the last few months, they have created a bond. It was not instant, but it was smooth. She gets along great with the girls, helps them with their art projects. It did not seem fake or forced, just natural. I am excited for a bright future with my daughters. All 3 of them. Update 2. God, I did not expect to update this thread, but life is full of surprises. My ex-wife reappeared in our lives. As I mentioned before, she disappeared almost completely after the girls moved in with me, except for birthdays and mandatory holiday calls that half the time she did not even make. She did not visit them once. The girls stopped expecting anything from her, and now, suddenly, 2 months ago, she started writing again, calling randomly, and saying she wanted to see the girls. She found out they were both graduating this year, the younger one finishing elementary school and the older one high school, and suddenly she wanted to get involved. She said she did not want to miss important moments. It sounded ridiculous, but as their mother, she had the right to attend. So I let the girls decide. They reluctantly agreed. I extended the invitation. She showed up with her partner, and, man, it was awkward. He looked like her retired uncle. He is in his 60s already, gray hair tied in a weird ponytail, sunken eyes, with a linen shirt that desperately tried to say, I am relaxed and creative, but he looked more like he was lost on his way to a poetry club. Sophia had aged too. Stress takes its toll. She looked tired and older. Not to brag, but I keep myself young. I have been in the gym for 3 years doing strength training, sleeping well, and eating better. I feel stronger, more focused. Besides, cutting off toxic people gives you an incomparable energy. I was with Lauren. Sophia saw us, blinked twice, and scanned Lauren from head to toe. Then she threw the jab. Wow, new girlfriend. She looks like your daughter. Sugar daddy, maybe. I did not react. Lauren smiled and replied, no, I just like men who age well. Classy as always. The girls did not run to their mother. They greeted her politely, posed for a photo, and then stayed with me and Lauren. At the graduation lunch, Sophia tried to pull Eli aside, asking weird questions. Is your dad serious about that woman? Does she sleep here? Do you like her better than me? Eli told me all that later, rolling her eyes. She told me, she is acting like a jealous teenager. And she was right. Sophia started calling Eli more often, but never the older one. I think she thinks Eli is more manipulable. She tries to make her feel guilty. She tells her things like, I know I made mistakes, but I miss you. Oh, tell your sister to at least answer me. But the more she insisted, the more the girls distanced themselves, especially after she sent them a long, dramatic message saying she had made sacrifices for them and they did not value her love. They showed it to me and said, is she serious? I told them to ignore it. A week after graduation, I received an email from the school district. Apparently Sophia had tried to update the emergency contact information without talking to me or the girls. She had put herself and her ex-husband as the primary contacts for both daughters. That made me lose my cool. I forwarded it directly to my lawyer. Although on paper we have shared custody, the girls have lived with me full-time for over 5 years. Sophia was never involved in their school, never attended parent-teacher meetings. And now, suddenly, she is trying to reclaim her role as a mother on paper. I wrote to her, do not play games with the school. You barely see the girls. They do not even want to stay at your house. Stop pretending to be a full-time mother. Her response was typical. They are still my daughters. I have a right to be involved. You are turning them against me. That last part made me boil. I did not have to turn them against her. She did it herself. I told the girls what had happened, and to my surprise, Mia said, maybe she is scared. She knows she messed up, and now she is trying to score points. And they added, she does not want people to think she abandoned us. She is doing this for herself, not for us. They were not wrong. It was a matter of image, not love. Finally, the request was denied and the girls continued to live with me. But last week, Sophia sent an email requesting her right to have the girls with them according to the shared custody agreement. I did not get upset. The girls are mature enough to decide for themselves. That is how I have raised them, independent. When I showed them the email, Mia dismissed it immediately. I do not want to go to that apartment. I do not want to be near him. Eli was torn. She missed her mom, although she did not trust her. After some back and forth, she agreed to go for just one night, but only if I picked her up the next morning. I was skeptical. I told her to call me as soon as she felt uncomfortable. I could not sleep that night. At 6 in the morning, I received a message from her and she wanted me to pick her up early, that she felt weird there. I rushed over and found her outside with her backpack. I asked her if she was okay and she said, yes, I just want to leave. On the way, she told me they had fought all night. He would not stop yelling about money. He was upset because she had invited me. Mom cried. I stayed in my room. We did not press her for more, but later she told Mia she never wanted to go back there again. That night, Mia came to me and said something that hit me hard. She said, we have everything we need here. You, Lauren, this is our home. We do not need mom's drama. Why do we have to pretend there is something to fix? There is nothing to fix. I informed my lawyer that the girls do not want to be bothered. He said he would send a formal notification. Meanwhile, Sophia still sends messages from time to time. She tries to emotionally manipulate the girls. She insists she wants to fix things, but never does anything about it. It is all just talk. Now I know that even if she wanted to, her ex-husband would not let her. As for us, Lauren and I have not rushed anything. She has slowly become part of the family. She is not replacing anyone. She is just herself, and that is more than enough. I have started looking at engagement rings. Update 3. So yes, I married Lauren. It was a small ceremony. Just us, the girls, my parents, and a few close friends. We did it all in our backyard. The girls were delighted. They helped Lauren choose her dress. Eli even insisted we wear matching Converse for the reception. Lauren integrated into our lives so naturally that the wedding felt more like a formality. It affected Sophia more than I expected. 2 days after the wedding, she sent me a message that said, wow, I guess it was not even worth a heads up before your dad ran off to marry a child bride. Lauren showed me the message, shrugging. She is just bitter. I replied from my phone. Yes, Lauren might look like a child bride next to me. I wish I could say the same about you with your boyfriend or ex-husband, whatever. You two make a perfect couple. You have aged very well to match his wrinkled body. And yes, the girls do not want to be bothered, so stay away. You will receive an official notification from my lawyer soon. That burned her quite a bit. Instead of backing down, she doubled down. She started pretending to be the good mother, sending daily messages to the girls, commenting on their social media posts. even showing up uninvited to Mia's art show at school. She made a scene about how proud she was. Then she pulled Mia aside to whisper, "Your new stepmother has no idea what real parenting is." Mia replied to her face, "Neither do you." That shut her up immediately, but she did not stop. She tried with Eli, and there she reached a new low. She told her, "I bet Lauren buys you with gifts. Does she ever talk to you about her real intentions? She only married your dad for his money." I was furious, but even more so with what Eli replied to her by message. "Lauren's mom has been more of a mother to me than you ever were. Stop trying to poison us. It is not working now." Both girls have blocked her and have made it clear they do not want any kind of contact with their mother. At least for now. Sophia did not take it well and said she would file a new custody request. I do not know how much she could achieve, since the girls are old enough to make their own decisions. So I am calm. I know Sophia cannot hide it. She is jealous that I am with someone younger and more full of life, while she is trapped with a bitter old man.